Resident Evil 9, Requiem, is officially launching on February 27th, and after months of silence, early preview impressions are finally out. But here's what's interesting. The reactions are not just hype, they're layered. Some are calling it a bold return to survival horror. Others are saying it might be the most divisive entry in years. So what exactly is going on here? Did Capcom just take a massive creative risk? Or are we looking at the next franchise-defining entry? Today we're breaking down everything from early hands-on impressions. What's working? What's concerning? How Leon actually plays? How the new protagonist shifts the tone? And whether this dual character structure actually holds together. No story spoilers, just mechanics, tone, performance, and direction. Let's dive in. The biggest takeaway from early previews? Requiem is not chasing action spectacle, it's chasing tension. Capcom appears to be doubling down on pure survival horror. Resource scarcity, limited safe spaces, psychological pressure, and most importantly, vulnerability. But the way they've chosen to explore that vulnerability is where things get really interesting. Because this time, the game revolves around two very different playable characters. Let's start with Grace Ashcroft. She's new to the franchise, and she's not a soldier. She's an FBI intelligence analyst. That decision alone completely shifts the tone of her gameplay. Early previewers describe her sections as slow, deliberate, claustrophobic. Ammunition is scarce. Reload speeds feel intentionally punishing. Healing items are rare. Inventory space is extremely tight. And enemies? Brutal. You don't enter rooms expecting to clear them. You enter hoping to get out alive. Previewers say her gameplay evokes Resident Evil 7 and the RE2 remake. Tension built through sound design, distant scraping, muffled breathing, subtle environmental cues. Fear, in Grace's sections, comes from vulnerability, and that's deliberate. Then there's Leon. Yes, Leon S. Kennedy returns, and his presence shifts the tempo immediately. His sections are faster, more mobile, combat-driven. He has stronger melee options, weapon upgrade depth, larger encounter arenas. But here's the important part. Leon is not overpowered. Enemies in his chapters are more aggressive. Some require limb targeting. Others coordinate in swarms. When playing as Leon, fear doesn't come from weakness. It comes from escalation. And this is where debate begins. The dual protagonist structure isn't cosmetic. It's philosophical. Grace survives through restraint.
Jesus.
Leon survives through calculated aggression. The same location can feel suffocating as Grace, and tactical as Leon. That's ambitious design, but some previewers are questioning pacing balance. Will switching styles disrupt immersion? That's one of the biggest unknowns.
You felt that one, huh?
Now let's talk about enemy AI. because this might be the game's boldest feature. Early impressions suggest a heavy return to Stalker-style horror. Enemies patrol interconnected spaces. They investigate noise dynamically. They linger outside rooms. They force relocation. Think Mr. X, but more reactive. Instead of constant waves, you get sustained psychological pressure. However, some inconsistencies were noted. Minor AI quirks, occasional exploitable patterns, nothing catastrophic, but tuning will be critical before launch.
Come on, come on, come on, come on!
Exploration is reportedly one of Requiem's biggest strengths. The environment is semi-interconnected, closer to Spencer Mansion or RPD. Puzzles are deeper, multi-room chains, inventory-based riddles. Optional reward paths. Safe rooms are fewer. Inventory decisions are harsher. Every bullet matters. Visually, Requiem is being heavily praised. The RE engine continues to evolve. Dense shadows, dynamic flashlight lighting, highly detailed environments. Performance-wise, PS5 Pro reportedly runs 4K at 60 FPS with ray tracing. Base PS5 remains stable. PC supports path tracing and DLSS 4. Optimization appears to be a focus this time. Without spoilers, the tone is darker, less camp, more psychological weight. Some love this maturity. Others worry about pacing and emotional energy balance.
Infected.
Now let's go deeper into something that could define this entire experience: pacing. Because survival horror lives and dies by pacing, and Requiem is clearly walking a very fine line. On one side, you have Grace's slow burn dread. On the other, Leon's controlled combat escalation.
I think I want a second opinion.
Nice.
The question is, will these transitions feel seamless, or will they feel like two different games stitched together? Early impressions suggest Capcom is carefully structuring chapter flow, but until full reviews drop, that remains one of the biggest variables.
The counter-bioterrorism agency, right?
Take this.
You're sure?
You might need it. Now go. Get out of here.
Let's revisit the AI for a moment. Because this system could elevate the entire horror experience. Previewers mention enemies reacting dynamically to sound, tracking movement between rooms, investigating light sources, adapting if you repeat tactics. That sounds incredibly ambitious, but ambition requires precision.
That's too effective.
A few testers noted occasional inconsistency, minor pathing issues, enemies briefly losing player tracking. Again, not catastrophic, but noticeable. If Capcom polishes this properly, we could see one of the most reactive AI systems in franchise history. Environmental storytelling also appears to be a major focus. Early impressions highlight dense atmosphere, interconnected spaces, optional lore discoveries, hidden weapon paths tied to puzzle chains. It's less about open-world sprawl and more about tightly designed tension loops. That design philosophy feels intentional, almost nostalgic.
Yeah.
So where does that leave us? Resident Evil 9, Requiem, appears bold. It's leaning back into survival horror roots, but layering modern mechanics on top. Dual protagonists, advanced AI systems, atmospheric world design. The ambition is clear, and ambition always carries risk. If Capcom fine-tunes AI behavior, balances character pacing, and smooths enemy durability, this could be one of the strongest entries in years. If those elements feel uneven, it may divide the fan base. Either way, it's not playing it safe, and that alone makes it interesting. Requiem launches February 27th. We won't have to wait long to see how it lands. Let me know in the comments, are you more excited for Leon's action-driven return or Grace's pure survival horror tension? Stay tuned for more coverage as we get closer to launch, and I'll see you in the next one.